welcome back. I'm Tun Gamer. Today we're building a life-size IG-11 bounty hunter droid from Star Wars The Mandalorian. So let's get into the video. IG-11 was a bounty hunter droid introduced in the first episode of the Mandalorian TV series. So far, the only other IG series droid we've ever seen is from The Empire Strikes Back, which is IG-88, but we never saw him fight.
I want them alive. No disintegration.
As you wish. Lord Vader.
We found the model for IG-11 on the Droid Division Etsy store. They have a lot of other droid models and their Facebook's really helpful. For this project, we're going to use the Prusa and whatever ends of filming we have left lying around. We have the STLs already pre-cut up, so we can just start printing.
So now, let us begin.
I finished printing all the parts now, and there was tons of them, and they all came out in different colours. Before we sand and paint him, we need to dry fit him together to make sure that everything fits. Wow, turns out IG-11 was a bit of a beast. Once we dry fitted IG-11, it turned out he didn't need any glue. He just fits together perfectly, and that's amazing.
I dropped my hot pocket.
First we laid down all the plastic parts on a big chunk of wood in the garden. Then we got out our primer and started to spray paint it with primer for a nice base coat. Then we got out the silver paint and started spray painting it with the silver paint.
What is going on up here?
Now that I finished the base coat of silver and bronze, I need to put all these parts into IG-11. And that's going to take me a long time because I forgot where every single part goes.
I forgot.
First we got to glue the pipey bits to IG-11's abdomen with super glue! We used M3 bolts for the shoulder, we used M6 bolts for the elbow and the wrist, we used sleeve nuts for the fingers, and we used motorcycle front fork gaiters for the parts to cover up the moving bits. Now that we finished assembling him, we need to make his eyes glow up, give him his bandoliers, and also give him his gun.
You know, you're not so bad for a droid.
Agreed.
We used an Arduino. My dad helped me solder some LED lights to IG-11's head. We also made it so the LEDs turn on slowly and they flicker off every now and then. This helps it be more realistic.
Okay, so what do you need?
Guns. Lots of guns.
IG-11 uses an E11 blaster, but he also uses a DLT-20A. So we decided to print out all the parts, and now it's time to assemble them. Now that we've finished gluing it together, you can now see the awesome effect of doing the rainbow filament. Now we need to paint it. We already printed out IG-11's E11 blaster, but now we printed out the larger DLT-20A, and all we need to do now is do the final coating of weathering. We printed out a template for IG-11's bandoliers. We decided to use EVA foam, which was the cheapest option. Oh, gym mats or yoga mats. So we got a black one. Interesting. For the bandoliers, we used a cow, gym mat or yoga mat, and we 3D printed out the ammo crates, but they still need a bit of weathering. But we also got some wires, like this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Wow, IG-11 was a task to build. He wasn't as hard as Roger, but he was a big task to do. I personally like his guns and his wires, but he was the first one to have electronics in his head. Only if you don't count Geo, which has this light bulb in his head. But I don't really think it counts, as he can make his eyes flash, he can make his eyes blink, he can make all of his eyes blink. My favourite part was building the blasters. We built the DLT-28 today, and in the previous video we built this E11 blaster.
Boring conversation anyway.
Rogo, we're gonna have company! IG-11 now lives in my room with the rest of the droid family. It's getting a bit cramped in here now, but I'm thinking of making a mouse droid or an interrogation droid next. If you enjoyed watching me build IG-11, make sure to subscribe and use the creator code 100 Tun Gamer into Fortnite Iron because it helps pay for everything that these guys are built out of. Now that I've built IG-11, Grogu's going to be safe in my room because he's here.
That was unpleasant. I'm sorry you had to see that.
I like making all these big build videos. They're lots of fun to create and I hope you guys have lots of fun watching them too. These guys are lots of hard work, but they end up being incredible and really fun to build. 3D printing is a really good hobby, just make sure you have enough filament.